Hello everyone, welcome back to SQL Edge, your place to learn SQL Server step by step with clear examples. In today's video, we are starting a new series on system functions in SQL Server, one of the most important topics for developers, analysts, and developer interview preparation. We will first understand what are the functions, what is meant by system functions, and their types. Then we will start with our first set of system functions, string functions. Let's understand first what is meant by system functions in SQL Server. So basically, a function in SQL Server is a predefined routine that performs a specific task and return a value, right? So in SQL Server, we have the different functions. That function will take some input data, will perform some action on that data, and will return some value as an output. For an example, if you want to find the today's date, instead of writing complex SQL code, you can just call a function like getDate and you will get the today's date in a output of the result, right? So the SQL functions will make our queries shorter, cleaner, and more efficient. Here we can find the system functions. System functions you can find inside a object explorer as well. So all the system functions will be available under the object explorer. Okay, that will be available in each of the database you will be going to create, right? So system functions will help us to provide the information about the system, database, objects, users, and the environment. They help to retrieve the metadata, configuration details, or session related information as well. Let's understand what are the different types of system functions we'll be having. Let's go to our database, student database, whatever we have created. So under the student database, to look for the system functions, we have to go to the database, then programmability. Under the programmability, you will see the folder called functions. Expand that functions folder, then you will see the folder called system functions. So we are going to see system functions from today, and here a list of system functions are available under this. We have aggregate function, we have the configuration functions, we have the cursor functions, date and time functions, mathematical functions, metadata, other functions, string functions, text image, system statistics. So there are a list of functions available. Right? What is mean by system functions? System functions are built-in functions provided by the SQL Server itself. What is mean by user-defined functions? So user-defined functions are created by the user. Okay, so these are all are the system functions. So in coming videos or coming sessions, we are going to learn about the user-defined functions as well. But as of now, we will focus on system functions only. Right? In this series, we'll be focusing mainly on system functions because they are used almost everywhere in the real projects. Right? So there are types of system functions we'll be having, right? So we can divide system functions further based on their purposes. So first one is the string function. String functions are used to manipulate or query text values. So any varchar data type or any text data type we will be having, we can manipulate those columns using string functions. Then next we have the date and time functions. So these date and time functions are used to handle the date calculations. Then we have mathematical functions, which is used to work on a numeric data type. Then we have the conversion functions, right? So conversion functions are used to convert the data types. Then we have aggregate functions. These are used to work on a aggregated data, right? So these are the some different types of system functions we'll be having. So today we will be going to work on a string functions, and we will be starting the string functions and what are the different string functions will be having, that we'll be going to see with the examples, right? So here I have listed some of the string functions. As I mentioned in the definition, string functions are used to manipulate the text values, like any data type which is having the character data type like char, varchar, n varchar, text, right, long, all those columns values can be manipulated using the string functions. Here are a list of string functions available which are most commonly used in a SQL Server. Each of the function along with their description and some sample query example I have given here, right? So length function, it will return a length of a string. So let's say this is my string SQL Server. I want to find what is the length we are having. Length in the sense the number of characters within the string, right? So length function will return the length of a string. Let's say for an example, I have written this length SQL Server. It will return 10 out here. Lower, it will convert the given data to the lowercase. Upper will convert the data to the uppercase. Ltrim is used to remove the spaces, but this is a leading spaces. That means spaces from the left, right? Rtrim is used to remove the trailing spaces. If there is a spaces in your SQL keyword, or we can say the SQL values, the table values, we can remove that spaces at the start, at the end. The spaces in between cannot be removed using these functions. Right? Then trim used to remove the both leading and trailing spaces. Left returns the left part of a string. So let's say we are having a string called a database. I want to extract some characters from the left. I can use left function. Same way, the reverse of left is right. To extract the character from the right, we use the right function. Substring is used to extract the part of a string. Used to replace a specific portion within the string with some new value. Replicate is used to replicate or repeat the given string n number of times. Reverse is used to reverse the given string. Then char index is used to find the position of a substring. Pat index finds position of a pattern. Concat used to concatenate the strings, and string aggregate combines the multiple values into one. So these are the some commonly used system functions we are having. Don't worry, we are going to see each of them in very detail, right? So here I'm going to create one sample table called emp data, and I'm going to insert some 20 or 15 records into the table, right? Let's understand the table structure first. Table is having employee ID, first name, last name, hire date, birth date, email, salary, gender. So we'll be having almost 3 columns with variable character data and 2 columns with date data, then some integer data as well. So we are going to use this table for our demo in this entire function series, right? If you understand, this employee ID column is an identity column. We have seen what is meant by identity. If you don't know, or if you have missed the video, you can go to our playlist SQL Server Foundation series. You will find the video I have created based on a identity column in a SQL Server, right? So let's create this table in student database, right? And we can insert the sample values as well, right? We know to select the data from the table, we use the select command, right? So we can see whatever the data we have inserted. This is the data we are having. So this table we are going to use as a reference for our all the demos. So first we will see what is the length function, right? So length function is used to get a length of a string, right? So we know it will help you to find out the number of characters in a given string. Right? This is useful for validations, right? So we can use length and bracket. In bracket you can provide the values. Simply if I use select length and my name here, okay, so this will give us the length of characters in this name, right? So we know this is having 6 characters, so we will get the 6 as a value. We can give alias name to this result set, number of characters, right? So it will give 6 in the result set, number of characters. If you add space here, it will add one more. It will give again 6 because it will not consider the trailing spaces. But the same thing, if you add in the leading side, it will consider that space and it will give you 7. Even if you add the space in between, that space will be considered. So it will give you the number of characters within a given string, right? Here we have used the hard-coded value. What if I want to use the column name? I can use, right here we can see we have the column name first name in this employee data table, and we have the length function used for first name. So what it will give? It will give me the number of characters in each of the value for the given data, right? In the first name, whatever the values we are having, for all the values, it is calculating the number of characters. So this is how we can use the first name function in the len function in the table, right? Not only on the first name, we can use this on any other columns like last name as well, last name, and we can use this. So it will calculate the number of characters in the last name as well, right? So this is the len function. Then we have ltrim and rtrim. We know ltrim is used to remove the leading spaces. Rtrim is used to remove the trailing spaces. We know currently we don't have any spaces here, right? We don't see any of the spaces, so it will not remove anything. But let's add some spaces. We have seen this one, right? So I will take same example and I will add some 1, 2, 3 spaces here, right? And if I select these values, select this value with spaces, you can see in the result set it is still having the spaces. Okay, same value if I use with ltrim, okay, now you will see this result will be displayed without any space, right? I'm running both together. You will see one value is little forward, right? I will just take this above so you'll understand. R is starting from here, but here it will start from very beginning. So ltrim will use to remove the spaces. Even though I'm giving the spaces at the end as well, it will have some spaces. Okay, but we know this will not be visible. Why this will not be visible? Because those are the spaces. We cannot see that. So we can use this rtrim function here to remove the trailing spaces. Rtrim is used to remove the trailing spaces in case if there are trailing spaces, right? Then along with the ltrim and rtrim, we have the trim function as well. So trim will remove both leading and trailing spaces. We can see it is removing both leading and trailing spaces. So we can use this ltrim and rtrim function along as well as the trim function to remove the spaces from the given string value, right? Then we have lower and upper function. These are used to convert the given character data into either upper or lower case. So lower is used to convert the data into the lower case. Upper is used to convert the data into the upper case. Let's see with example. I will be using same value Rakesh. Here we know we have just name value. We have this Rakesh only. And if you see it is printing the same. But when I use this with lower and in value, what it will do, it will convert entire values into a small letters. Same way, if I use the upper, it will convert all the values into the upper cases, right? So lower and upper we can use to convert the given values into either lower or upper case, right? So here what I'm using this is the original column, this is the converted with lower values, and this is the converted with upper email. We can see all the column values will be, this is the original one, right? We can see it is having lower and it is having upper. So upper and lower are used to convert the given data type into either lowercase or either a uppercase, right? These are great when you want to case insensitive comparison or uniform formatting, right? So this will be used to for uniform formatting of the given data. The last function for today's video is reverse. So reverse function is used to reverse the given string. We can reverse the given string, right? So we can use the string function to reverse the value. Let's see the same demo. I'll be using this Rakesh here. Select without spaces. Okay, if you just select this, it will just give the data like this. But when we use the Rakesh value with reverse function, it will reverse all the characters from the given string, right? You can see it is reversing every single character, right? So this is how we can use the reverse function. we can see with the example from the table. So first name and reverse the first name, right? So this is how we can use these functions, right? Let's summarize this. The string functions, length functions we have seen. Length returns the number of characters in a string, right? For example, to check if names exceed certain character limits before saving them. Then ltrim, rtrim, sometimes the data will come with unwanted spaces. So ltrim, rtrim and trim used to remove the spaces from left, right and from both the side of the given character. Then lower and upper, these are the great functions to standardizing the data. For instance, converting all the values from a particular column either to a lowercase or either to the uppercase. And reverse is a function that is used to reverse the given data. It will simply flip the given values, right? So that's all we will be having. We have seen today what is system function, what are the different types of system functions, and then we have started the learning of string functions. From that we have seen today length, rtrim, ltrim, lower, trim, upper and reverse functions, right? So in the next video, we'll continue with string functions part 2, where we will learn substring position, replace char index, right? Those functions in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to SQL Edge and hit the bell icon for more practical SQL content. Thank you, everyone.